Hi there, welcome to Dundee Piano, and today, as requested by the viewers, we're going to have a look at some tips for listening, or the aural test as they call them. And I'm going to look at the grade 6 book because I've not done so much of that before in other videos. So what we'll do is just work our way through the book, and I'll just go off the top of my head and give you tips and advice, okay? First part of the grade 6 exam is to sing or play from memory. So that's two options. First of all, you can sing or play it. You know, whatever instrument you're doing. I'm using a piano here, but obviously you could have a different instrument. The upper part of a two-part phrase, played twice. So everything's 2, 2, 2. Yeah, there's two parts, you hear it twice, and you play the top one. It'll be in the range of an octave. And it'll be a major or a minor key, up to 3 sharps or flats. And you'll get the key chord and the note, and you'll get a count, and you'll also get them named if you're going to be playing it. Okay, in this case I'll do a wee bit of singing because that's probably the most universal way you can do it. But obviously you could play it on your particular instrument. So here's the first example in the book. It goes like this. I'll play the two parts separately. Well, I mean separate hands, okay, after 3. It's G minor, starting on D. A 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again. Oops. So you're looking to sing the top part.'t sing here. La 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 la. Yeah, so you've got to avoid getting distracted by the second part. So you don't want to hear that, just ignore it and go for the top. Okay, here's another example. It's in G minor and it starts on a D. It's another minor. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. And again. La la. So you're listening out for that top little melody up here. Yeah, that's what you have to be listening for. You're trying to ignore all the notes below. So when you listen to it the first time, pick out what the highest notes are, okay? Because you're looking for the upper part. And the second time, maybe even quietly hum it along. I don't know, even hum it into yourself. So when you get the option to sing it or play it, whatever you're doing, you can do it nice and loudly. That's another tip for singing. Sing as loud as you can. Confidence helps you to sing in tune, I've found anyway. The quieter you sing, the more likely you are to be out of tune. Alright, let's try one in a major key. We'll skip over to number 10 here. So it's quite quick, this one. And they come quite close together at some points. Here it is, starting from this one. 1, 2. Listen very closely. 1, 2, 1, 2. So hum along to that one on the top. So you listen out for la 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 la. Yeah, so that's what you're listening out for. Okay, I could give you lots of examples, but what this video is about is giving you tips to pick them out. Listen to the high note, try and work out the melody of it. Don't think of harmony. You're only thinking melody here. La 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 la. So you're thinking, which direction does the melody go in? Is it jumping up? Is it stepping up? Is it skipping down? Where is it going to? Are there little dotted rhythms in there? Are there quavers, semi-quavers, you know, quick notes, slow notes? Okay, so there's part A. If we go into part B, we're going to be singing from a score. So you get given a sheet of music. There's a few different examples here, and you basically sing through the melody that's given there. I'll find one that's suitable for my voice, because I'm a bit of a lower voice. So pretty much any of those ones in the bass clef will be fine for me, I think. So I just played that one. So I'll play, well, let's look at this one first of all as an example. So they're going to play the lower two parts, and you're going to sing the upper part, okay? It says they'll give you the key chord, your starting note, and the speed. And you have a few moments to look through and try it out loud. Here's the key chord, so if I give you this one, and the starting note is a F sharp. So at that point I'd be going and the speed a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If they indicate that, yeah. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, so I'd be going la. There we go. So we're looking for skip. Skip down, jump up, skip down. La, step up, ah. So this is like a scale at the end here, yeah? So definitely look out for things that are scales. La. Yeah, so you're looking out for things that are patterns, you know, like skips and steps and scales. Smooth part there. So when they play it, you remember your start note, la. Good, managed it, that's good. I've not really practiced these at all. So this is just going from sight. So that's what it should be really, yeah. So here we go. Right, let's try another example. I'm not going to play it this time, I'm just going to try and work it out from here. So you got your chord, it just happens to be the same chord, but it's a different start note. Hey, so I'll be like, good, got that out. So once I've worked out how that kind of goes, you've got some steps there, yeah, and then you've got a big jump. And it looks like fifth is about the biggest jump they're going to have in these examples at this grade. Perfect fifth, yeah, so you can go up or down the fifth. There's a step up and a skip down. So again, you're looking out for things like that where you know one step and you know the skip going the other way. Alright, I'll try singing along. I'll try to do two things here, sight read and sing. Okay. La 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 la. It's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky to kind of sight read and sight sing at the same time. Anyway, you will only have to concentrate on the singing. One final example, it's in a different key. I missed that one, that's tricky there. So we have a minor, and it looks kind of melodic minor, where it's going to be that's quite low, that one. So I would be caught out by that if I didn't pay careful attention to that. I was trying to think B major scale. La. That's what's catching me out. It starts minor and goes major. Look out for things like that. So if you do see accidentals on the paper, be careful what's coming up. You may be in a minor, or in this case, going from minor to major. I went a bit high. be honest, that would help me once they start playing those chords. You'd be like, ah, yes, ah, it's a kind of suspended chord. Anyway, okay, so there's tips. Look for steps and skips, jumps and perfect fifths. That seems to be the range for grade 6 on how far you're going to sing. Watch out for your majors and minors. Look out for accidentals in the music. In these examples, there's not so many accidentals, but I think occasionally you will get a minor. That's exactly the same. Yeah, it is. It's in the treble and bass, so there you go. I've only got a limited number of examples here. So, there's section B. If we move on to C, identify the cadence. Here we go. You've only got 2 options, perfect or imperfect. Hopefully you can tell the difference. Here's one. That's fairly perfect, isn't it? La, la, la. So it finishes back where it started. That's probably the biggest clue, because that's going to be perfect. If it's not going to finish back where you started, it'll be imperfect because it'll feel like it's not quite done. Here's an example of an imperfect. So there's your chord and your start. Can you hear that that's not quite done? It's not finished, it's not perfect, it's imperfect because it's going to go and do something else. Do, 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 do. Here's another imperfect one. You know, it's going to do something else, it's imperfect. I think that's probably the easiest section of this grade. Right, so moving swiftly on to grade 6, section D. This is a bit more in depth, so you're going to have 4 things, maybe, to be listening out for. Texture. What's the texture like? Structure. How's it laid out? How's the sound occur? Character. What gives it its character? What's different about this piece from other pieces? And finally, silent period. What can you say about it? Is it a very old, strict Baroque or classical, or is it a modern kind of 20th century romantic style? So which side of that divide does it come down on? Okay. So immediately you can hear the pedal, hopefully. So that's got me thinking romantic, because it's not quite modern enough to be 20th century. Also you've got the dynamic changes in there, and you have the little ornament, and you have the building and swelling, and the... There you go. And I probably could have played it a little bit more animato, a little more animated and accented. But you're going to get a question like, okay, describe the texture of the accompaniment in this piece. Now that's a bit of a vague question, I think, but at least they do say accompaniment. Could you hear the... It's a waltz time, it's a low, high, high, you know? You have that kind of feeling of a waltz, low, high, high, or as they say technically, a single bass note on a downbeat followed by 2 chords. So that's your kind of... So there's your texture, low, high, high, chords, and low bass note. There we go. And what gives the music its character? So you've got a variation of dynamics. You've got legato melody, you've got, what else have you got? Ornaments, you've got acciaccatura in there, accents on some notes, you have arpeggios. So all these elements can contribute to the character, I suppose. Or or you could talk about the waltz, we've already mentioned that. Repetition of the accompaniment, I suppose I missed that, yeah. So it's kind of a cycle of waltz time accompaniment, that's something to pick up. Animated, yeah, like a dance, there you go. So it's like a kind of quick waltz. Pick up on that, mention the waltz. And it probably is romantic, yeah, I probably should check that. Yes, it is. Blah blah. Irregular asymmetrical phrases, I never noticed those, but if you can pick up on their bonus points. Waltz style, use of the pedal. Bingo, get that pedal in there, yeah? So that's one of the examples. Now, this time I'll just play and I'll listen after, yeah? So you've got one like this. Quite a dramatic one, isn't it? And obviously you're going to pick up on the very loud start and the pretty quiet middle, and then the loud returns and then the quiet returns at the end. So the two dynamic steps you're really thinking about there, yeah. Tonality, what are you thinking of the tonality there? Starts in a very minor key, and then it goes major, and then it goes minor again. Major. So it slips into major, but it finishes minor again. So it's flipping between minor and major, yeah. It sounds a little bit more romantic to me as well. Yes, it is another romantic. I just happened to have picked another romantic one. The dramatic dynamics, there's something to really pick up on that one, yeah. I should have probably had a little more pedal in occasionally, but that pedal when you get to the... etc. Yeah. So listening out for those elements. Let's pick one that's not romantic for a contrast. Okay, here's one. Etc. Yeah, you can hopefully hear the swing in there, which pushes it right into the 20th century. Okay, the left hand has a kind of repetitive motif, a repeating phrase in the bass, fifths and sixths if you want to be specific. The right hand's got a swing rhythm. Quite easy going, quite smooth, but kind of bouncy as well, I suppose. It's obviously the 20th century, it's quite modern. Texture wise, you can hear it's there's no staccato in there pretty much, no staccato. So it's very smooth and easy going, I suppose. Yeah, swing, jazz, blues, mention all those things. I forgot about the clapping. Yeah, every one of those examples has a clapping part. So you're listening out for the melody and you're going to clap along with that or behind that melody to show that you've got the melody. Here's one here. And you get it twice actually, so. Okay, so trying that one. So you're picking up on that swing rhythm. They also ask, is it 2 time, 3 time, or 4 time? Hopefully you can hear the 4 in there, yeah? The other examples we had, when we had this kind of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. The other two are both threes actually, yeah, waltzes and such. Let's have a listen to one final example, a different period from the others. Let's have a go at this one. Yeah, so it's like this. Okay, it wasn't a very good rendition, but hopefully you could hear from there was no pedal, there was a lot of staccato, there was a lot of movement within the melody on each hand, not so much change of dynamics, maybe a little dynamic change, ornaments where I could manage them. Hopefully these are all pointing you towards Baroque. Yeah, you can hear the strong melody on one hand, a little bit of harmony on the left. You can hear, what else have we got in there? A little scale-based melody. Not very complex harmonies. No atonal, no kind of mixtures of timing on rhythms. It's fairly straightforward, pointing you fairly firmly to the Baroque period, yeah. Let's see what the official says. Two-part texture, occasional chords, yeah, there you go. Scales legato, mainly staccato elsewhere, yeah, you've got your scales, etc. Two-part texture, limited dynamic and pitch range, regular phrase, ornamentation. So there you go. So these are the things you're listening out for, and hopefully you can kind of categorize music when you listen to it. And the examples in this grade 6, are going to be from those 4 periods, either Baroque like that one, or classical, which is more kind of steady, simple, repetitive, I suppose, or into the romantic where the pedal comes in and the different harmonies come in, or finally into the 20th century where you get more swing rhythms, blues harmonies and things like that. So listen out for things like that as you hear the music, you know, and identify what kind of accompaniment it has. Is it repetitive? Is it changing in dynamics as it goes along? I don't know. Use your ears and just try and communicate that over when you get the chance. But hopefully that's helped a little bit in some respects. If you've got any comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.